things took a turn. Let me preface this by saying the potty training part of all of this was great and continues to be great.
Yeah.
She knows her body signals. She goes on the potty. Does she have an accident occasionally? Yeah. Hey girl.
Hey, what's going on?
What is going on? It's snowing. We're hunkered
snowing.
down. It's a good night to cuddle up and podcast.
It is a good night. Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Meg.
I'm Mere.
And welcome to Moms Off Script. How we doing?
I'm doing good. It's been a long day. Our recording days are long days, but they're good. And this is like the nice little nightcap.
I know, it's wonderful. Yeah, the snow is just killing me. It's so cold out, and all I want to do, I'm so motivated to run right now.
Oh, I know.
And it's been so cold.
Too cold.
Yeah, it hasn't necessarily been too cold. It's just, I don't know. I guess, yeah, it has been too cold.
You don't mind the cold. So, like, when we say it's too cold, we mean, like, single digits.
Well,
cold.
yeah, I mean, it was like a feel of 1 this morning.
Yeah.
And I was going to run, and I was like, nah. So
I don't mind the cold when it's snowing like this.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, if it's cold, if we're getting snow, then it's like, okay, well, there's something fun to do outside with the kids. It's when it's cold and we have no snow. I'm like, what is even the point of this coldness?
The other day it was so pretty. Like the snow was like perfect and like laid on the branches. So I was fortunate enough to be able to run during the day, and I like waited till it was like blue, sunny skies and like snow on the trees. It was so pretty. And I only had to do like 2.5 miles. So I just kind of like cruised through it and like soaked it all in. It was gorgeous.
A fun fact, I'm 99% sure that where you did your run, I made Joey drive through on the way to the grocery store so I could take a video of it and send it to my mom.
Oh,
I was
really?
like, it's so beautiful over here.
I love it over there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, it's just been so cold.
Freezing.
So
Frigid.
I'm ready. Like, I feel like I want to say I'm ready for the summer or the spring or whatever, but I feel like what I've decided is like I'm just embracing the now of it all, like, because as somebody who like is active outside, you see everybody that's like, oh, I can't wait for it to be summer, and then when it's like midsummer, everyone's like, oh, I need it to be cold, like it's too hot. And I feel like while that is very true, it adds just like an extra like negative piece to it. So it's like finding ways to just like enjoy the cold and like love it and embrace it. Maybe not love it, but like embrace it and like be grateful for it, because when it is super hot, like I can embrace that and like I can enjoy like being super sweaty and like all of that. But that's kind of where I'm at with the cold and being
I think
outside.
that's a good mindset of like, because I know I've had that feeling in the middle of summer of like, oh man, I just wish we had a cold night so that I could like cozy up and watch TV and not feel bad that I'm not like sitting outside on the patio.
Right.
And yeah, here we are podcasting in the cold. If it was like sunny and warm out right now, we'd be like, I don't want to sit in the basement and podcast.
Right.
This is
like
perfect
our set might be outside.
We should do that.
That would be fun.
That's probably terrible for audio though.
Probably. We'll figure it out.
But this is perfect podcasting weather.
Yes,
just
it is.
snuggle up
Cozy.
in the basement, watching the snowfall.
Yeah. Yeah. So tonight we are going to get into some potty training. I know we've already talked about potty training.
Potty training part 2.
But we are getting back into it. So you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. You ready to talk
about our potty training experience
all right.
the second time?
Oh, all right. Part 2. All right, so back in November, we released episode 4, which is an episode that kind of talked all about our potty training experiences with our first, my potty training experiences with both of my kids, and kind of the routes that we went and what kind of like spearheaded those journeys, right?
Yeah.
And so to our listeners, like if you haven't listened to that episode, feel free to pause here, go back. Or, you know, if you want to just listen to that after.
Yeah, I don't think you need that episode to enjoy this one, but it would give you, like, good context.
For sure.
It's like the prequel to this episode.
Kind of, yeah. So that was episode 4. And tonight we're going to dig into potty training your second because you have since done that.
I have.
All right. So during that episode, Meredith, you talked about kind of you were trying to figure out when you were going to potty train your second.
Yeah.
And you decided mid-December that you were going to do that. Yes. Is that correct?
Yep. We found a weekend that would work. She was ready. It was just a matter of like when do we have 3 uninterrupted days that we can do this? And yeah, mid-December was what we landed on. We marked it on the calendar, and luckily nothing came up, so we were able to do it then.
Fantastic. So you said she was ready. What really prompted the decision, and what were those signs that she was ready, and what prompted that, like, for you guys to like go all in and move forward with the potty training?
The nail in the coffin to me was when she looked at me and said, "Mommy, I want to do potty training." And I said, well, I guess she's ready.
Right.
But honestly, before that, like, she was sitting on the potty. She had already pooped and peed on the potty on her own, independently, not like she was curious about it and did it. She very much was in there with us all the time, watching us go, very curious about Teddy going, and just was using the language. She could tell us when she was going in her diaper and that she was saying, like, oh, I just went poop, or I'm going pee pee. Like, she would tell us. So between her communication about when she was going, her interest in the potty, her literal language telling me she wanted to potty train, very excited about undies, right? We ordered undies for her. So like all the signs were there. Her excitement was there. And I was honestly a little bit afraid that if we didn't do it, we would like miss this window of opportunity where she was like super into it and gung ho and really wanted to do it. So I think the timing was exactly right for her.
Great. I mean, and that makes sense. Like you said, like with all the language and kind of the interest around it.
Yes.
Yeah. I feel like the second is often a little bit easier. It's not the right word, but like they're watching their sibling.
Exactly.
Like they know what it is. I think when you introduce it to your first, they're just kind of like, oh, adults do that.
Yes.
Where like when your second is seeing another kid do it.
100%. That was definitely a factor in her desire to do it.
Yeah,
because her big brother was doing it.
Yes. Yeah, I remember that with our second. It was just so much easier to just be like, okay, your turn.
Yeah.
And it kind of fell into place, if you will. So you talked also about not being sure if you were going to do daytime training and nighttime training. I have not done nighttime training with mine. You did do day and night. You kind of ripped the Band-Aid off with your first. Talk a little bit about what you decided to do with your second and what kind of, again, prompted that decision or why you went in that direction.
Yeah. It was honestly, we were back and forth about it, like you said on the episode, and having that discussion with you on the podcast really helped me solidify my decision. And we decided to do night training at the same time with her. At the end of the day, I felt like it was just easier to articulate to her, you no longer use a diaper at any time. If you have to poop or pee, you always go to the potty, whether it's daytime or nighttime. And I felt like that was a cleaner explanation for her to understand. It was the same with my first, with Teddy. Like, it was just, now you don't do that anymore. You always use the potty. And that was like a clearer explanation. So we decided to go with that. We knew that was going to make some things difficult. But we were prepared for that, and I'm sure we'll get into all of that, but we did decide to night train, and she is currently good at night.
Awesome.
Crazy.
Great. Did you so then in order to night train, you had to transition her from a crib to a toddler bed?
Yes.
Is that correct?
We did.
Okay.
I will.
Did you introduce the toddler bed prior to potty training, or did you do it all in one full swoop?
We did it all in one fell swoop, and I'm not sure I would do that again.
Okay.
That is one thing I may change. And I think this may be just specific to AJ. We did it with Teddy all at once as well, and he was fine with it. My thought process was, I'm going to introduce the toddler bed so that she associates the ability to get out of bed with going to the potty. Like, you are allowed to get out of bed now because you need to get up to go potty, not you can get out of bed now, but just don't. There's no reason to get out of bed.
Right.
So, but you could, just don't do it. Like, I felt like that was going to be a big hurdle for her. So in my mind, connecting the two made a lot of sense. That's why we did it at the same time.
That makes sense. So, okay, moving forward, day 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Walk us through the process. What was the strategy that you used? How did she respond to it? And how did you also respond to it? And like, how did Joey respond? And kind of what did it look like in the house over those 3 days?
It went really, really well.
Great.
And yeah, truly. We did. So the method we used was we did undies, so no pants, but we did do undies for the 3 days. And we just kind of cold turkey the first, we actually didn't start in the morning because she had daycare. We started after nap time. So like had kind of a midday, like
okay.
we still
So
sent
you
her to
sent her to
daycare.
daycare that morning.
Yes.
Okay.
And I said, after nap time, we're throwing away your diapers. And we made a big ceremony about throwing out the last couple diapers and taking out her undies. And
do you still have diapers in the house?
No, they have all been given away. We threw away a couple because I wanted her to have them until like they're gone now.
Yeah.
And any others that we had left over were given away. So
Great.
there are no diapers in this house.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So we put on the undies and I said, tell me when you have to go. And we just went about our day. I was obviously watching her like a hawk. I was pretty much glued to her. Teddy was in on it as well. I was like, make sure you watch your sister. If you see her going pee-pee, you got to let me know. Joey was working that afternoon. He was obviously around on the weekends, and we just watched her for 3 days. And obviously there were a lot of accidents to start, but she was getting the hang of it. The second day, she did really, really well. We did a sticker chart, which was what we did with Teddy as well. So every time she went on the potty successfully, she got a sticker. That did backfire a little bit with her. She's so freaking clever because here's what she did. She would go sit on the potty and she would pee and we'd be like, yay, sticker. And then 2 seconds later, she would do it again.
Pee again.
Because she had more in her, but she was stopping because she wanted to get all the stickers. Right. So I was like, honey, okay, now new rule, you need to have like at least 20 minutes between pees here. Like this is all one pee session. Right. Even though you've sat down 3 times. So she was trying to game the system. We did not let that fly.
All right.
But she got to 10 stickers very quickly. Her prize was the same as what we gave her brother, which was a couple Oreos. Because she loves Oreos, and that was very motivating for her. But even after she got the 10 stickers, even like today, sometimes a month later, she's like, I want a sticker. And I'm like, sure. Like we still have the sticker chart. It's just covered in stickers now. Like, it's all full. So we did that, and I'm trying to think. So day 1, lots of accidents, but she was getting the hang of it. Day 2, really turned the corner. It was a long day 2, right? Just mentally to be very focused on her.
Well, and day 2 was a full day.
Correct. Full day, as was day 3.
Yep.
My husband took Teddy and tried to, kind of keep his attention on him. I think it was easier for me to kind of just stay focused on AJ because I was already in that mode, and him to just occupy Teddy so that, he's not distracted or like, it's not that exciting for him to watch his sister potty train. Like, go with your dad and do something fun. So that was the approach there. I think the other thing that was difficult about it this time around was the first time with Teddy, I was so invested and so nervous and so anxious about it that was like so consuming. Right. This time I said to Joey, I was like, I wish I could just fast forward to day 3 because I know it's going to be fine and I don't want to have to actually deal with the 3 days. I just want to get to the end of them. Right. And I was going through the motions. We were doing it. It was fine. And I found myself really wishing I could like go fold a load of laundry or do the dishes. And I'm like, you can't do that though. You have to stay focused on them. Right. So the lack of the ability to multitask was hard on me this time. But that's part of the game. You have to stay focused. And by the end of day 3, she was doing really, really well. We had a brief outing on the end of day 3. We went up to our babysitter's house to celebrate Hanukkah at her house. And, she's 10 minutes down the road. We did light the menorah. She gave them some gifts and we came home and she crushed it. She was fine there. I love that. She went potty while we were there. She went potty before we left. And great. Yeah, she did a really, really good job. Like I would say by the end, she was potty trained. Like, has she had accidents since then? Yes. Well, but like, I would say we were comfortable leaving the house at that point. Mm-hmm. I think one thing that worked really well for her, and I think I mentioned this in the original potty training episode, is that we try not to say, do you need to go potty? Do you need to go? Mm-hmm. Or like, let's go. It's time to go. We always use the language of tell me when you have to go. Tell me when you have to go. Because what kid ever have you said, do you need to go potty? And they go, oh, you know what? Yeah, I do need to go potty. Right? They always say, no, I don't need to go.
I don't know. My kids do.
No, mine do never do that.
Yeah, no, mine
if I say, do you need to go? Even if they're dancing around, they're like, no. But if I say, tell me when you need to. Yeah. And now it's their choice. Like, you tell me when you need to. Then they say, like 10 seconds later, they're like, yeah, I have to go. I'm like, right. Okay, thank you for letting me know. Yes. You told me that you need to go.
No, yes.
You're in charge. And that has worked really, really well for her because she's a little feisty, independent woman. So if you say, it's time to go, she's going to look at you like you have 3 heads. But if you say, you tell me when you have to go, that she's responded really well to that.
That's great.
So that was the 3 days. And for nighttime, we were getting up twice. So one of us would go in there like right as we were getting ready to go to bed, like around 10, and get her up and take her to the bathroom. She was like half asleep.
What time, for reference, does she go to sleep?
7:30.
Okay.
So she would go to bed at 7:30. A couple hours later, one of us would go in there and get her, kind of sleepily take her to the bathroom, put her right back to bed. And then one of us would set an alarm for like around 4-ish to go in and get her again. Take her again, very sleepy, pee, and then she would, put her back to bed. And that worked pretty well. Once in a while, we'd go in and there was an accident when she was still learning, whatever. She was not quite used to like reading her body's signals. But very quickly, we dropped that down to just one time in the middle of the night. And then even very quickly after that, we just stopped doing it because she was getting up on her own. So
great.
Yeah, that was wild to me because it took Teddy months to do that, getting up on his own. Like we had to go in there and wake him up for a very long time. And there was one night where I went in there to get her and she yelled at me. Like she got up on her own and I went to meet her in the bathroom and she was like, no, I do it by myself. And I was like, great.
Okay.
Let me know if you need anything. Yeah. See you in the morning.
Sounds like everything went well. First couple days.
Yeah.
Fast forward 2 or 3 weeks. What happened? Tell our listeners what happened.
Things took a turn. Let me preface this by saying the potty training part of all of this was great and continues to be great.
Yeah.
She knows her body signals. She goes on the potty. Does she have an accident occasionally? Yeah. It usually happens when she's like very engrossed in something and doesn't want to be interrupted. But for the most part, she's doing an excellent job, especially just a month in. Where we've seen some struggles is around the big girl bed. And there was a low point. I would say this was probably like 2 weeks in where she was getting up. She was waking up around 5 and she would get up and she was just up. And she would come into our room. She'd say, I'm awake. And we'd say, no, AJ, it's still the middle of the night. It's dark here in New England. So we're like, it's dark out. Go back to bed. We're all still sleeping. You have to go back to bed. And she would lay down for 5 minutes and she'd get up and come again. I'm awake. I want to get up. No, it's time to go to bed. And before you say it, we have the green hatch light thing. And we've tried to teach her like green light. You don't get out of bed until you're green light. She doesn't care. She doesn't care about the green light. She's going to get up when she wants to get up. And we tried everything. We tried gently putting her back to sleep. We tried ignoring her, at which point she brought her pillow and blanket into our bed and joined us in our bed. I was like, this is not happening. We tried very gently putting her down. We tried very firmly putting her back in her room. Like everything. My husband tried. We tried. Not, she just kept getting out of bed. And I had a moment where I was laying in bed going, this is useless because I have no way of enforcing this boundary. I'm telling her, stay in your bed. And she just keeps getting up and I just keep putting her back. There's no repercussion for getting out of her bed. So at 5 whatever in the morning, after like 100 times putting her back in her bed, I kind of snapped and said, if you get out of your bed one more time, you're going back in your crib. And I knew when I said it that like that was about like if I say this and she does it, I have to hold the line. And she did. So that's how I found myself at 5:45 in the morning down in my basement, dragging the crib attachment back up to her room and unscrewing and reattaching and converting her bed back into a crib.
Lovely.
While she screamed bloody murder because I was taking away her big girl bed. So that was a low point.
Okay.
But we moved on from that. What I told her that morning, right? So we put her back in her bed. She screamed for like 30 minutes and then her light turned green. And I was like, great, now you can get up. So that morning, once things had subsided, we weren't having our big feelings. I said, you need to do 2 things to get your big girl bed back. You need to keep your undies dry all night long. Not go to the potty. We'll still take her to the bathroom. But you need to keep your undies dry, no accidents. And you can't scream in your bed. Because that was what she was doing. She was screaming in her crib. So that was the deal. The first night, she almost did it. She started screaming around 6. And that was not part of the deal.
And what time does she normally get up?
7.
Okay.
Yeah. So 6 o'clock screaming is not on the cards. We're not going to let that one fly.
And if she's up before 7 in her crib, does she typically get it? Like, do you guys go get her or do you wait until 7?
We try and wait. Yeah. So we try and say, like, you can be up. You can play with your guys in your room.
Yep.
Like, even when she had the big girl bed, we said, like, go play in your room. I don't care, but you can't get up yet. Like, it's still nighttime. So second night, she did successfully meet our parameters. She kept her undies dry all night. She did not scream. We went in there at 7 o'clock to get her, and she was chipper and happy. And I was like, look, you did it.
Yeah.
Let's do your big girl bed. So I put it back, and she was in her big girl bed for a while.
For a while.
For a while.
And where are we now?
We are back in the crib.
Okay.
And here's the difference. And I'm trying really hard not to see this as like a failure
Yeah.
on either my part or her part, because here's the thing. The first time we put her back in the crib, we were still having to go in at night and get her, like
Mhm.
at least once. So we were very eager to get her back in her big girl bed because she wanted to be able to get up on her own.
Right.
So we were all on the same path of like, let's get her back in the big girl bed as soon as we can. Now she can go all night. When she goes to bed at 7:30, she does not need to go to the bathroom again until the morning. Her bladder has matured enough where I guess where she's fine. So I don't have nearly as much motivation to get her back into the big girl bed because I know I can just go in the morning and get her and take her to the bathroom, and that's fine. And it is better for all of us when she is in the crib because she sleeps better.
Yeah.
She's not getting up. She wakes up and she realizes she's still like, it's not time to get up yet, and she can't get up yet. So she just puts herself back to sleep because she doesn't really have another choice. My husband and I are sleeping better. We both like to work out in the morning.
Yep.
And we have had trouble doing that because neither one of us wants to leave the other one when she's going to be getting up every 10 minutes at 5 a.m. So we put her back in the crib like 2 nights ago.
Okay.
And she was mad about it. And the same thing happened where I told her, I said, if you get out of bed again. Oh, Meg. Wait, let me back up and tell you this part of the story.
I don't think I've heard this story yet, actually. I don't think we've actually connected on this.
There's not that much to tell. It's a short story. So same pattern, 5 in the morning. She's getting up. She's coming in our room. I put her back to bed. My husband puts her back to bed. We try everything. I get her back for like the third time. And I like crouch down next to her, like where she's laying in her bed, and I'm kneeling down, like kind of nose to nose with her, and I say very firmly, lovingly but firmly, stay in your bed. And she looks me dead in the eye and goes, stay in your bed, in like a mocking voice.
Oh,
and
no.
My brain just like it went to static. I was just like I can't process the fact that my 2-year-old just mocked me after getting out of bed
at 5 o'clock
at 5 in the morning. I will, oh my God, I'm going to lose it. So I said, okay, if you get out of bed again, you're going back in your crib. Again, knowing like this is a line I'm drawing in the sand. So I will need to hold the boundary, knowing 100% she was going to get up again.
Yep.
And she did. And I had left her crib attachment in her room, almost like as a reminder, like this is what's waiting for you if you don't comply. So she got up again. So we put her back in her crib. This was like 5 in the morning, and she went back to sleep. And she's been it the last couple nights. She's sleeping better. We're sleeping better. And my husband and I talked about it at lunch the other day. And I was like, I'm not that motivated to put her back in the big girl bed. Mm-hmm. She can stay all night. She doesn't need to get up. I don't think she's ready to understand the whole concept of the green light and like when you can get out of bed and when you can't. I think we can spend some time reinforcing that with her, where like right before we go in and get her, we'll turn the light green so she starts to associate it a little bit more. Like we just need to do some more learning around that. And you know, she was waking up Teddy too. His sleep was being disrupted. So we're all doing better when she's in the crib. She wants the big girl bed back. She tells me all the time, I want my big girl bed back. And we've had conversations where I've told her, like, you know, you need to be a good listener. Remember when you got out of your bed, when I told you if you got out of your bed, you'd be in your crib again.
Right.
Yes. And she'll tell me, I'm a good listener. I go, I know you are. You just need to show me that you are. So that is where we currently are.
Okay.
Fully potty trained.
Yep.
Great on the potty. Not so great with the big girl bed.
That's okay.
I think that's okay.
Yeah.
She's okay.
I think like listening to your story and like where you are in this moment, spinning it a little bit, you did say that you're not looking at it as a failure.
Trying.
And so I want to give you like a little note to also help you try in that space. You kind of said at the beginning of our conversation that you switched her to the toddler bed and all at once. You did it all in one full swoop, right? So you introduced her to 2 new skills all in one day. Mm-hmm. And the skill that you were after was potty training.
Right.
And that was the skill you achieved.
Yes.
And so, you know, we talked in our episode, our New Year's episode, like if you're not reaching, if you're not failing, you're not reaching, right?
Right, yeah.
And this is, again, not a failure at all, but that it's kind of that idea of like, we're pushing, we're trying to move forward, we're pushing boundaries, we're seeing what we can accomplish. You set a goal, and that was the goal that you did accomplish, while you were trying to do two things in kind of a package deal. Like the one kind of fell by the wayside.
Yeah.
But to your point, like you're not necessarily motivated to move that forward. That was never the goal. Her
Yeah.
sleeping in a big girl bed was
You're
never
right.
the goal. That was just something that you perceived to come along with the other
Yes.
goal. But those are two big milestones. Like getting a
Yeah.
big kid bed
It's
is a huge
huge.
milestone. Like you don't really know anything else as
Yeah.
a toddler who has slept in a crib their whole life.
Yeah.
And so I think just being able to recognize that the goal and the milestone in which you were trying to achieve happened is like a
Yeah.
win.
Thank you. Yeah, I think that's so true. And I think I wish that we had been able to keep her in the big girl bed and she just crushed it and like we didn't have to do it. But I like that we did what we did because it did allow her the independence to get up at night and go potty and gain that confidence, even if now we're kind of back in the crib, right? And I just think she wasn't ready for it, and that's okay.
Yeah.
And I think if I had known, like if I could go back a month ago me and tell myself, like, just don't bother with the toddler bed yet. Just do the potty training, go in and get her when you need to get her, and like let the toddler bed be a future thing. I would do that now this time. But I'm glad we tried, right?
Absolutely.
Because if she had done it, then cool, then we're good. But she didn't, so we're just gonna stick with the crib.
We have talked about this in other episodes too, but that growth experience of like now you have a framework of when you've tried something with her and it didn't work.
Yeah.
Right? Like we talked about the passies with,
Yeah.
you know, you learned through like, oh, I'm trusting my gut and I'm doing this thing, and you learned how to process that. It's a very similar situation for you too, where you tried something, it didn't necessarily work the way either one of you wanted, you or your daughter, but you're learning how to cope with that, and it's going to only increase and enhance your relationship and how you cope together with skills moving forward.
1,000%. And it's also a good lesson in like being okay with the differences in your kid. Like I said a few times as I was talking about AJ's experience, like, oh, well, Teddy did this, and like when Teddy did that, and like you can't help but think about the last time you went through this experience, right? With your first, if you're doing it for your second. And there were ways in which Teddy learned more quickly on certain elements, and there are times in which AJ learned more quickly on certain elements. And it was a good reminder for me to treat AJ as its independent project. I can take the knowledge that I learned from the experience with Teddy, but I shouldn't impose upon her just because Teddy did it this way, that's the way we're going to do it, right? Like we had to modify and adapt because of where she is and what was working for her.
Right. Now, you did mention going backwards and maybe like changing the approach to the crib and the potty training piece. Is there anything else with your second, or just the whole process in general, like from the moment Teddy started potty training to now, that you would have done different?
I don't think so. It's tempting to say like I would have done pull-ups and just delayed the night training, right? Like that I think that is something that is so valid and such a good way to go about it. It wasn't what we decided to do, and I'm glad we didn't. But I could see an alternate reality where that's absolutely what we did.
Right.
So I'm glad we did what we did. I could have done the other way, and I think I probably would have been happy with that as well. But I wouldn't change. I don't think I would change anything except, her bed and like having her just stay in a crib and do one thing at a time for her versus doing both at once like we did with Teddy.
Awesome. So like overall successful experience.
Really, really successful. Like again, especially when I focus on just the potty training piece, like she learned so quickly, like pee and poop. Like sometimes the poop game is a little
it's tough for
like,
sure.
That can be tough for them, but she did so well. And we had a parent teacher conference like a week or two ago with her teachers at daycare, and they specifically called out, they're like, we were so impressed with how she's like, she came in potty training and it was like boom, she was potty trained. Like
that's
there was
wild.
No transition, no ramp up. Like she left school on Friday, she came back on Monday and was potty trained.
That's so cool.
Thank you. Yeah, like that's amazing. She did so well. So I was really proud of how quickly she took to it, and how I'm not surprised, right? She's such an independent creature. She knows her own body. She knows what she wants. And when we gave her the autonomy to say, you tell us when you need to go. I trust your body. You're a big girl. Listen to your body. You can do it. She responded super well to praise. That was one thing that helped a lot with the like getting out of bed. When she would listen, would be like, you are such a big girl, and I know you can stay in your bed. I love you
Yeah.
so much. You can do this. Like, that was usually what worked when we needed it to, or like when she was getting up at nap time. So that was the other thing. She would get up at nap time. We'd be like,
oh yeah,
time for bed, and we'd put her down, and she'd come poke her head out. I want one more hug. I want one more kiss.
oh yeah.
So we were dealing with that. She's much better at nap time now. Even without the crib, she was much better at nap time. But you know, the third time when I give her one more hug, one more kiss, and then I would, you know, pile on the love. I love you so much. Let me give you one more hug. You're doing so good. I'm so proud of you. I know you can stay in your bed. You're such a big girl. And she'd be like, yeah, I can. So like that really worked for her, giving her that independence, that trust, that confidence. Like, she really thrived with that.
Meredith, thank you for sharing everything about your experience with potty training your second.
It's the least I can do. Maybe one other person can listen and feel not alone.
I still have to night train mine, so
we'll have to do a part three.
Figure that out. We got to do that. Are you ready to answer some quick fire questions, lightning round about potty training? I know we've done a potty training lightning round, so
yeah.
Hopefully this one's a little bit original.
I'm ready.
Okay,
let's
ready?
Yeah.
All right. So, do you surprise them with undies or let them pick out their own?
Pick out their own.
Do you throw away all the diapers or keep a few in storage?
No, I'll throw them away. It's a crutch.
Do they use the little potty or the regular potty?
Regular potty.
Wildest moment potty training your second?
Oh, when she spite peed at the top of the stairs to make me come and get her right outside the bathroom.
Love it. Are accidents after a 3-day method a failure?
No.
Potty training experience in one word?
Patience.
Night potty training in one word?
Challenging.
How many bottles of wine did you drink during the 3-day method of potty training your second?
Probably 1 bottle over the course of the nights.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got for you tonight.
Loved it. Honestly, I should be commended for only going through 1 bottle through all
You know
that.
what I was thinking? I was thinking when I wrote that question, I was like, it's either going to be like a ton, or she's going to say like 0 to 1 because she like had to wake up and like was afraid of sleeping.
No, that was the treat. It was like after bedtime, get me a fat glass of wine.
Love it. But like just one, because you still had to get up in the middle of the night. It couldn't be like
yes.
I need a bottle after that.
Let me tank it out here. No, I'm not. I mean, this is a bit of a sidebar, but if I have a glass of wine, I pretty much only ever have one. Like if I have 2 glasses, that's like, hoo-hoo.
Yeah, no,
calm down.
I'm teasing. Yeah, for sure. Any other funny stories from potty training?
Oh gosh, I think the one I'll mention. This is a funny one. So this is meant to be like just reality of potty training, right? I said it went really super well, but there were low moments, and here's one funny one that I can now look back on and laugh, which was, it was the middle of the night. I heard her get up, probably 2 or 3 in the morning. And so I get up to go meet her in the bathroom. She goes in on her own, and I meet her in there. I go, hey, do you want some help? She goes, no, mommy, I need space. So she holds her hand out. So I go, okay. But then she tries to take her shirt off. And I'm like, honey, you don't have to take your shirt off. You're just going potty. No, mommy, I do it by myself. So I'm like, okay. So she's trying to take her shirt off, but she's getting really tangled in it. And every time I say, do you want some help? She gets more mad.
Right.
So I say, okay, I'm going to go sit on the floor right outside the bathroom, but you can still see me. Let me know if you need help. You can do it by yourself. So I'm sitting on the floor watching her struggle with her shirt that she doesn't need to take off because she's going potty, and she's dancing around. I can tell she has to go. And eventually she kind of wiggled her way behind the potty and peed.
Oh,
I felt so bad because she was all stuck in her shirt. So we got her all cleaned up, and afterwards, she's fine, whatever.
Yeah.
Afterwards, I said, AJ, if pee comes fast like that, I'm gonna jump in and help you next time. It's okay to ask for help. And she goes, okay.
Oh, that's cute.
That was a low point. At the time, I was like, you're freaking kidding me. Why is she trying to take off her shirt when she just has to go potty and she won't let me help her? Like, just let me pull your pants down and put you on the potty.
Yeah.
But no, that wasn't in the cards.
Not that night.
Now
that's
I can laugh about it.
Now we can laugh about it.
One day when she has kids and she has to potty train them and they're exactly like her, I'm going to be like, tell her all these stories.
That's so funny.
Taste of her own medicine.
Love it. Love it. Well, thank you again for kind of giving us an insight into what that journey looks like for you.
Yeah. Thanks for the opportunity.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode.
Yeah.
Catch us on our socials. We are Moms Off Script on TikTok and Instagram. Send us an email. Let us know how your potty training experiences went, or any feedback you have on this episode, or what you'd like to see in future episodes.
Or tips for transitions to a toddler bed.
Ooh,
or I'm gonna have to try again at some future date.
You are gonna have to try again for sure. And I'm gonna have to night train my kids. So any tips you have there. So momsoffscript@gmail.com. There's also a little text us button at the top of this episode if you want to click that and send us a little note. We'd love to hear from you. So thank you so much.
Thanks, everyone.
All right, bye. Yay! Moms Off Script is created, designed, filmed, edited, and produced by Megg Abelein and Meredith Finch. Music by Matt Beaton. Photography by Michelle Montinieri. Graphic design by Alexia Dulieu, and production consultants Nick DiVasta and DiCicco.